Move there.
Welcome back to the Check Complete podcast.
Welcome back.
Yeah, glad to have you here with us on this beautiful Sunday. We have a few things we want to talk about. A little bit of a World Cup update on how we feel the refereeing's been going and some other things. We would like for you to do the subscribing, all that stuff that helps you connect us. Helps people find the podcast. If you leave reviews on those kind of things, that helps the podcast get out to more people, which is obviously what we want, and helps us to just provide a better product for you as well. So that'd be great if you can do that. Subscribe, leave comments, those kind of things. Be wonderful. How you doing, man? We're here.
It's starting to get steamy.
It's getting pretty warm. We're in the shade. However, it's
I have my sweat rag on
it's
me.
Just after 1 o'clock.
If I dab my face, then
that's
why.
the reason why. My glasses are probably sliding down my nose.
And we're also at a different location today.
Different location. Probably didn't notice that.
Probably
we are
not.
at
Looks
Lawrence
just like
Brewing
the basement.
Company. Lawrence Brewing Company in Lawrence, Kansas. It's where you live in Lawrence, so came a little closer to your home. Just had quick lunch, and we're having someone's having a beverage. I'm driving, so I'm just going to have some water here.
I'm having water as well.
But anyway, glad that you're here. Wonderful. So we have a few decisions, a few games that we're kind of wanting to touch base on that are noteworthy that some of you probably have seen or heard about. So the first one is the Folarin Balogun red card from the other day, Wednesday. Today's Sunday, so that was 4 days ago, Wednesday. And the controversial red card that blew up the internet. The biggest problem is obviously he's the real only striker for the U.S. national team.
And he's done great things for us so far.
So far has been I don't know how many goals, 4 or 5 goals he's scored, right? I believe. So he's certainly
I think it's
the one that
do my research.
Has carried the team as far as the scoring department goes, and somewhat indispensable because there really isn't another striker, full-on striker with experience on the team. So unfortunately, with the red card in a game, suspension follows, at least a 1-game suspension for any red card. So that is the case for Balogun. One thing I found noteworthy.
Is it Balogun or is it
Balogun? Balogun. I'm not sure.
Tomato.
I'm not sure if it's tomato issue or if it's just me not knowing.
I say Balogun, but
Balogun. Let's go with Balogun.
Probably because I heard somebody say it that way.
Okay.
I don't know.
Balogun sounds good to me. That's great. The fallout from the game, and we'll talk about the foul itself here in a second, and if we think it's a foul or if the red card was justified, correct. But the fallout later on, I found really interesting on ESPN. They had a lot of they showed tweets from all these athletes, famous people, and
should we name them?
We can name them if you like.
There was a Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you say that name either.
Caleb Williams,
quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Jason Kelsey,
a retired football player.
Pat
American
McAfee,
football player. Also a retired
American football
player. Punter.
He was kind of a badass though.
He's fun.
Have you seen those clips of him punting and then taking out the receiver?
Oh, he's a big guy.
A big dude.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't like Hulk smash.
Yeah. Oh, strong, and he liked to walk around with sleeveless shirts and stuff.
He did the Conor McGregor walk.
Oh, did he really?
Laid somebody out.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
that's dangerous for a special teamer for a kicker.
That's why the WWE uses him because he's.
Oh, really?
He's pretty awesome.
I'm not following him that much. I know he has a successful podcast.
Yeah.
But yes, very outraged former athletes or current athletes. The one thing that I noticed was similarity between all these people. Yeah. Oh, Dan Orlovsky, who was a former American football quarterback.
What do they all have in common?
Dirk Nowitzki, German. I'm sure he played. He played some soccer in his youth. Yes.
Sure
however, he was known as a basketball player. So, what was your question? What all these people?
Yeah. What do they have in common?
They are not.
Do you guys know?
They don't play football.
No,
they don't play soccer. Okay,
They don't play.
And I'm gonna
Soccer.
go out on a limb, and they have never refereed a game either. So
And I'm going to go one step further.
okay.
They've probably never read the laws of the game.
Oh, probably not.
So highly qualified.
Before or after this incident, right?
Highly qualified to.
And that's where we come in, right?
Well,
So here's
we
the
try.
so the red card on Balogun was for serious foul play.
Serious foul play.
Now the interesting factor here is that during the play, the referee was fairly close. I would say he was within 5 yards, easily with 10 yards. I'd say about 5-7 yards away. Looked right at it, and did not call a foul. Right?
We're good here.
Okay, you agree with this so far?
Yeah.
Okay, did not
From
call
my
a foul.
recollection, yes.
Did not call a foul. Both players going down, and the Bosnia player held his leg, starts rolling around, clearly in pain. So that's when the play stopped. After players are taken care of on the field. I don't know if Balogun, I think he might have twisted his ankle a little bit because the Bosnia-Herzegovina, I'm sorry, I always say Bosnia. It's
It's easier.
it's easier. That
B&H.
I kind of wondered if that Bosnian player threw his ankle and calf at the ankle of Balogun and tried to hurt him that way. I think it was the other way around, right? I don't think anybody really. There was no intent. Of course, as referees, we can't judge intent. We don't know what somebody's thinking, right? Unless he says, "I'm gonna stomp your ankle," which obviously didn't happen. But they both kind of went towards the ball, trying to challenge for the ball. Unfortunately, Balogun came down and bottom of his cleat with his entire body weight came down on the lower calf, Achilles / ankle, and it looked pretty ugly. So VAR gets involved, and VAR tells the referee you should be looking at the screen for serious foul play. And usually, what happens when VAR gets involved,
As soon as they went to VAR, I had a. I think the players.
I would say 98% of the time the referee comes back changing a decision because somebody in a basement or somewhere in a cool room where they're not exposed to the heat, they're not out of breath. They have 15 screens to look at things, different angles, and if they send a referee to the screen, it's most likely it's whatever call was made or not made is going to be changed. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. So. As soon as he goes to the screen, you're like, "Uh-oh, here it comes," right?
I think when I first saw the replay,
yeah,
I was like, "This is not going to end well."
This is not going to end well, right? So they came back with a serious foul play on Balogun.
Yep.
Now I'm going to go back to what the definition for serious foul play is. Oh, fly flying around here. It's a tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force or brutality, and it must be sanctioned as serious foul play. So that's different than violent conduct.
Violent conduct.
Because in violent conduct, you're not actually challenging for the ball,
No.
right? But it was
It'd be
clear
like
that
me punching you in the face.
right.
That would be violent.
That would be very violent, yeah. And
I would not do that.
No, especially on camera. And I would appreciate if you don't ever do that, yeah. So that's the difference between violent conduct and serious foul play. You're challenging for the ball and you're doing something to endanger the opponent, right? So now, and clearly, they're both kind of going for the ball. The Bosnian player was ahead of Balogun to the ball. So I don't disagree that this is serious foul play, and the reason for it is that whatever action happened, whatever action that Balogun made, whatever happened, was not caused by the other player. It's entirely by his decision to jump in the air, even though I'm sure he didn't mean to do it. But the result of the play is that he's coming down with a straight leg, full force with his whole body weight coming down on with his cleats onto the back of the leg, right? So. Right. It would be totally different if he jumps up in the air and maybe another player or that player spins him around, and now he gets out of control, not by his doing, but he jumps up in the air, kind of turns, and he's behind the play. I think the call is probably correct, even though it seems harsh, and I think a lot of people were saying it is just a harsh decision. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Accidents happen.
Sure.
And accident doesn't eliminate the consequence. So unfortunately, yeah, you are in control of your body.
Or out of control of your body.
Out of control.
But how did you get to being out of control? Is it something that you did? Or is it something that somebody else...
Yeah, in him challenging for the ball. That was his action that caused the step on the ankle.
Yeah, I kind of, a lot of the games that we referee that we see, or any soccer game, you have somebody jumping up in the air and they turn their back towards where trying to block the ball or something. And they might come down and hit that player that just kicked the ball. Like, well, that's a choice you made. You jumped up in the air and you're falling into, or you're making contact with that player. Oh, and then usually the response is, I didn't mean to. Like, that's fine, but the result's still foul. So we're
there may not be an intent there, and it may completely be accidental.
Yes,
but that doesn't remove the consequence.
Right. So so one game. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get something here from. What is it? Looks like we might have a news flash coming out. And the headline reads, USA star Folarin Balogun clear to play in World Cup match versus Belgium. Says right there. Unbelievable.
That's what it says.
Wow, it looks like the suspension, the 1-game suspension, has been lifted by FIFA in a dramatic fashion. Okay, so what happened now? FIFA has apparently decided that the 1-game suspension against Balogun is lifted. He is not suspended for the game tomorrow against Belgium. And now we can talk about what we think about that. Which is very curious, right? So apparently FIFA is coming out saying they're lifting the suspension on a probationary basis for 1 year, which means something to the effect of, if he ever does something like this again, not ever, but if within a year he does something like this again, that's 1-game suspension will be implemented. Well, it doesn't matter because we're in the World Cup right now, and tomorrow's game is a knockout stage game. If he does something again in 6 months and gets suspended for a game, I think Mauricio Pochettino is not going to care about that, right?
No.
What matters is tomorrow's game. So the timing,
timing is terrible.
The timing is very questionable. 4 days after it happened, one game before the next game.
This is not a good look.
Without actually explaining why.
Now we may find something else after this that explains it.
This just came out in the last couple of hours, right?
Yeah. So that's what we're going off.
But there's
right
no
now.
real explanation as to why. They're not
here.
They're not saying. We reviewed the incident and it was either. We disagree that it was a serious foul play, something like that, or we don't agree that the procedure that was implemented with VAR, how did we get to the VAR in the first place? He didn't call a foul. Does the VAR have the right to call him now to any of those? It's not being explained at all. All is being said is we're deciding that there would be no suspension. He can play. It seems like a hometown team call.
What do the kids say these days? It seems very sus.
Is that what they say?
Suspect.
Suspect. It does seem very sus.
It seems very sus. The timing is horrible.
The timing is bad. Waiting 4 days,
especially
to
with
make
no explanation,
and no real explanation as to why. Very questionable. Just seems a move to please the Americans as a whole, the country.
Well, Patrick Mahomes will be
very pleased, as will
Jason
be
Kelce,
and
Pat McAfee will be elated,
ecstatic. I am sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't like the timing.
Timing's terrible.
As a U.S. fan, I'm okay with like, yay, we get him back, but
Yeah.
it just
But
looks
let's
so
let's
bad.
reverse this. Let's reverse this, right?
It looks bad.
You know, it kind of puts, you know, it's kind of different. Not that much different to that foul with Messi. I kind of had the feeling when Messi. I was in the stadium, so I didn't have all the replays and everything that you guys had on TV, but kind of had the feeling later on. It's like, I think he didn't get carded or really dealt with because he's Messi. You know, that's kind of the feeling I had afterwards a little bit. I didn't want to.
True or not, it's hard to look at that and be like,
yeah,
they didn't because it's Messi.
Right. So
well,
that is all the information that we really have so far on this subject. I don't
like the look of it.
Balogun can play tomorrow in the game against Belgium. We don't have to worry about who's going to replace him, if it's Pepe or I don't know who the other guy was. Anyway, so I think we've probably beaten this.
I'm glad we have him back
to death as much as we could,
but it looks so bad.
Yeah. So, and I would feel much better about it if we at least had an explanation onto why. And this is why FIFA feels that this is the right thing to do. It is what it is.
Well, and looking at other instances in the tournament where people have been sent off, why is this one different than those?
Right.
And why aren't those?
And if there's a legitimate reason, just tell us and say this is this is what we came up with, and that's the reason.
Without an explanation, it's hard to. It just looks bad.
But I know you're happy, so.
I mean, who wouldn't be happy that he's...
Let's talk about a couple of different ones. I mean, he's the best chance for them to score, I think, so for sure. Portugal versus Croatia. We had that decision that offside decision at the very end of the game.
That removed a goal.
Was it a free kick? It was a free kick, right? Coming in from the left side. A cross.
I don't think it was a free kick.
It might have been just a cross.
I think it was just a cross.
Where we had the Bosnia player at the top of the penalty area go up for a header.
Croatia.
I'm still talking about Bosnia.
Yeah.
This is Croatia.
You're trying to put
the checkerboard. One of the former Yugoslavian countries. Croatian player goes up for a header. Ball gets deflected to a Portugal player, a defender, and it kind of skips off his shoulder or back of his head. And then goes to a player that now is in a Croatian player that's now in offside position. Receives the ball, and they end up scoring. So VAR gets involved, and this is we're talking last. I mean, not even the last minute of the game. Yeah. This is the last action of the game, in extra time, not extra time, but in additional time of the game. Goes to VAR, and comes back with that the player at the top of the penalty area touched the ball, which now puts
a hair follicle
that put the player that ended up receiving the ball in offside position, who was not in offside position at the original touch.
Right.
So if it doesn't get touched by that player,
right,
the goal is good.
Then he's good.
Very good. So, it's hard to tell, but the one replay they showed that was like right after the decision was announced on the field, they go back one more time to the ball, and the ball, in my humble opinion, did not change trajectory, and the rotation of the ball did not change. It looked like it just kind of went past the player.
Yeah.
But didn't I know there's some kind of a chip in the ball.
I bet our listeners did.
I bet the listeners did, because they're much better informed than I am. A chip in the ball that has some kind of technology that senses
touch.
And you were talking about that graph.
They showed a graph when the ball touched the
strand of hair.
The initial header.
Yes.
Yeah, John's gonna come
But my question is,
So like a seismograph.
yeah, so it's like a flat line, and then it spikes
Yeah.
where the touch is,
Yes.
and then it goes flat again.
Yeah.
But what I'm not sure of is if we advance that graph a little bit, there was a touch immediately after the
Right.
initial touch.
The Portugal player, I thought it was his
So-
shoulder. You said it was his head. Yeah.
The graph looks, as the kids say, sus as well. Because there's only one touch on that graph.
Right.
And there's a
There should have been-
stronger touch,
A clear touch.
a clear, stronger touch from that defensive player
Yes.
that was not shown on the graph.
Flatlined.
We flatlined again. So hair follicles create a mountain in the graph. And then a stronger touch keeps us flatlined after.
Right.
Again, I don't like the look of it.
Don't like it. Look at.
It's like they just stuck it up there.
So-
See, look, it touched.
Yeah, so I think the problem is with this kind of thing is, we're asking technology to take care of some of these decisions for us that we as humans can't see, or in the speed of the moment aren't able to detect, right?
Right.
And you hear people complaining about it all the time. It's like, when they have the line for the offside line, and it shows, half a toenail past the line of the attacker. Right? Well,
Which by the book,
which by the book, if you're half a toenail past the defender,
you are offside.
It's a little bit offside, but it's still offside, right?
Offside
So
is
I think,
offside.
So I think the issue is that we're asking technology to, to help, but when it is black and white, when it's so exact, even if it's just slight, then we're complaining about.
Then we're complaining about
Then
the
we're
help.
complaining about the help, right?
Yeah.
So
I think going back to that, well, I don't think we touched on that yet. I think we're going to touch on another decision here in a minute that
Okay.
hits close to your heart. But they're involving a goalkeeper,
Yes.
right? So there have been complaints about contact with goalkeeper from what I've read
yeah.
leading up to this tournament. So now they're addressing the contact with the goalkeeper.
All right.
And so it's kind of like, careful what you ask for, because it may come back to hurt you in the end.
Right.
So we're asking for, this help. And now that we're getting the help, and you're a pinky toe offside when that decision is made,
Yeah.
then we complain. So how much help do we really want?
Right. You can't. Yeah, it's tough. It's you're asking.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope for sure, and it's Do we want it or not? And I hear a lot of people asking for, we've got to get rid of VAR. Got to get rid of it. It's hurting the game. It's destroying it. But those are probably the same people that were complaining about before that things didn't get called, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we had in one of these articles about poor decisions, the 2002 Germany U.S. game, which I don't. You weren't even born then.
When?
2002.
No.
Where it's a header. I think Greg Berhalter headed the ball, and one of the German players was standing at the post, and it hit his arm, kept the ball from going into the goal. Mm-hmm. And it would have been a very important goal because I think at the time it would have put the U.S. up maybe, or would have tied the game or something. It was a big no call. Obviously back then we didn't have VAR to help with that, and the Germans got away with one there and went to the final.
Sneaky Germans.
I know, sneaky Germans again. They did it. So you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't have VAR here and not here. I think the best that we can do, the best that can be done, is have a clear line of when VAR gets involved, and have that consistent. I think consistency is what everybody wants, right? And if a half a toenail is off, then it is off.
I think consistency has been a big problem with.
But we're
VAR
and I know these
involved
referees have been together for a month or two now. probably a month before the tournament to all try to get on the same page. But if you have even, some of these countries may not even have VAR in their own country that they're refereeing, or their standards are different than others, right? So trying to get that on the same page is obviously difficult, but I think that's what everybody wants, just to have consistent and decisions made. So the Germany-Paraguay game that you talked about is where the VAR got involved. Germany scores in extra time, not in extra time. Yeah, it was in extra time. 105th minute, I think it was, to go up 2-1, I believe, on Paraguay. And there was no call. There was no foul called during the play.
No.
I'm not 100% sure because I was likely jumping up in the air, celebrating, screaming, running around the room, taking my shirt off, and you know how it is. When you're excited about something.
Yes.
But then VAR gets involved, says you need to look at this, and as soon as again, like we said earlier, if VAR gets called, something is about to happen, right?
Was coming.
So, goes to the screen and says that Valdemar Anton interfered, fouled the goalkeeper. And if you kind of look at the video, he was there. He didn't make a move towards the goalkeeper. If anything, it was the goalkeeper turning, trying to adjust his position because the ball was played across the penalty area.
Which knocked him down.
And then
the shot coming in.
And then the header came in.
Prepared for.
Something. I mean, I feel like something that I've called before in the penalty area, especially if attackers were lining up right at the goalkeeper trying to impede with him or her. And if something does actually happen, like, that's an easy call coming out. Hey, I told you not to do that. That kind of, and you do want to protect the goalkeeper, and you don't want a goal to be scored that's unfairly, by impeding with the goalkeeper. I get that. It just seemed like there was little to no contact, and it wasn't really initiated by the attacker in that moment. So, all right, enough of that. I think I'm done with that call. Germany's out. I get it. We're going to talk about that France-Paraguay game that happened yesterday here in just a moment. We're going to be right back. All right, we are back. And so the one other game that we had just happened yesterday that we talked about was controversial was the France-Paraguay game. So Paraguay beat Germany, and there wasn't a clear better team in that game. It was, and Germany didn't play well. Paraguay played as well as you feel like they could have, and ultimately got lucky in the penalty shootout. But it wasn't overly physical or anything like that.
No.
However, last night or yesterday,
that was a completely different ballgame.
The France game, Paraguay had little interest to let their playing skills do the talking.
I don't think they wanted to score a goal.
Just try to keep it.
I think their objective was to not let France score.
Right.
And beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
It was horrible to watch, in my opinion.
Get them frustrated.
I was frustrated.
Yeah.
I wanted to punch somebody in the face. It was just not fun to watch. And kudos to France for keeping their
cool,
composure. Right? I know there were a few times where they kind of lashed out, but man, if it was
overall,
if I was in a game for 90 minutes, man, I
mean, we had elbows.
I think Zlatan said it best in his post-game comments was, I would have 4 red cards in this game.
Right.
And again, kudos to France.
The one sequence where the players are running next to each other, and he clearly cocks his elbow back and gets him, and I don't know if he got him at the neck or the
chin
face, But it was like one of those back here and there.
That didn't go to VAR.
And how that does not. I mean, that's the perfect example of what we're wanting VAR
That's
to get
the perfect
involved
example.
with, right?
Yes.
That's where we need VAR.
That's where we need them to step in and be like, hey, this was off the ball in transition.
Because the referee is further in the middle of the game,
Trying to
on the other
get
side,
in a position.
on the other side of the player.
Yes.
It's going to be very difficult to see. The AR on that side, the only way
I feel
he's
like
going to
fourth official might have the best look at that.
maybe.
Because I want to say it was approaching midfield.
I mean, you always
But-
want several sets of eyes on what's going on.
Yeah.
The trailing AR that's running up the field now. Is he watching something between the players? Down from him. It's just, but that's why we have VAR, right?
The fact that nobody got involved
Right.
in that is kind of crazy.
And that looked like a straight red. I mean, easy.
Oh, if that
violent
goes to the
conduct.
monitor, he's
Yeah.
out.
And it
for sure.
wasn't jostling for position.
No.
It was a clear here and there,
It
right?
was ugly. Yes.
So
Yeah. Just I just for the fact that nobody got involved
nobody involved. Yeah.
is crazy to me.
And that the Paraguayan players got away with so much in that game. And again, we all know that if you don't deal with something in the game, you're telling the players,
I'm
hey,
okay with
I'm
that.
okay with that.
I'm okay with that behavior.
right?
And there wasn't much of that behavior that was dealt with.
Right. So and you have to find that line and letting players know this is what I'm allowing and this is what I'm not, right? And if you don't have that line, and clearly the referee was struggling with the intensity, with that one team, very skilled, wants to play, the other team very rough and didn't have an interest in that. Now that referee Ilgis Tanashev.
You got a better shot at it than I do.
Ilgis Tantashev from Uzbekistan had two really, really good games. Scotland against Morocco and Austria, Algeria, I believe. Had really good reviews on those games. Did a nice job. Just didn't seem to be ready for a
One
heated
team
match.
to not want to play.
Something like that, yeah. So
Yeah, I think, and we've all had that game
absolutely. Yeah.
or games.
And walk away
Right.
from it. It's like, I didn't handle this well. This is what I should have done.
It makes me think of when I first started refereeing the KCK Men's League.
Yeah.
Like you're presented with a challenge.
Adult league, very heavily Hispanic.
Yeah, and coming from mostly youth,
Right.
it's a totally different game.
It's a testing
And,
ground for any referee, for sure.
You learn really quickly that you can't. And I'm very much I'll let you play if you want to play,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Until you show me that you're not willing to play. I think that can get you in trouble very quickly in instances like that. If you don't deal with it early, then, like you said, you've set that bar of okay, this is what I think is okay.
They're looking for fairness. And I've gone
Yeah.
away refereeing those Kansas City, Kansas adult matches, where I have teams, being unhappy about your refereeing for 90 minutes, and after the game they say, "Oh man, you were so great. We want you to get as our referee next week." It's like, what just happened?
And you're like, dude, I don't want to be back next week.
Yeah, I need 2 weeks to recuperate from this experience, man.
Yeah.
But certainly those kind of games are a testing ground, and I'm sure that the Uzbekistani, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's how Uzbekistan referee. He's going to learn from that, and he'll identify what I'm sure he's going to be looking at that game numerous times and probably find things.
I'd be very surprised if that game gets him another
He's not going
appointment.
at this point.
Absolutely not.
He earned this game having good performances, but I don't see him getting another one.
He's not.
Now, but in his defense, we have not just VAR, we have an assistant VAR, we have assistant reserve. There's so many referees involved on the crew for this, and did nobody figure this out? Like,
nobody's in the earpiece going, "Hey man,
saying,
I think you should card that."
We should probably. Seems like a yellow, or it's the same player.
I feel like that's a conversation I'm having at some point in the earpiece.
right? So
Hey,
ultimately,
you might want to card that.
yes. Ultimately, the blame is on the referee that doesn't make the decision. But I do wonder if his team helped him enough to make it through the game. Because we've been on those games, right, where you're struggling and
You're not getting. Well, we're also not using communication devices most of the time. So
more now than we
Yeah.
used to.
but yeah, for sure, somebody on that team has to. I mean, they had a definite opportunity to do it at halftime
Sure.
because the whole first half was played like that.
No, it wasn't just the very end of the game.
No, it was the entire match.
So
If I don't say something to you over the headset during the first half, that might be a conversation we're having at halftime and say,
Really
hey,
quick.
man, you might want to blow the whistle a lot and pull some cards.
this is what we're seeing from our angles. Okay.
Yes.
And maybe that's not what you're seeing in the middle of the field.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
you might want to card some of those.
Yeah. So. And it ended up Paraguay not getting any yellow cards, and France, I believe, had 3.
I think they
3
got
or
a
4
yellow card after the game.
after the game.
Yeah.
But it was one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah, it was
It
somebody.
wasn't even a play. Yeah, for an
I-
after the game incident behavior. Yeah. So, all right. I think that's good enough for now. We're gonna leave it at that for
Now that game, I will say, that game just brought to my mind an opportunity for us to touch on
Sure.
a subject later on, which would be
Yeah.
how do you, as a referee, make a presence on the field so that because
Yeah.
the way he looked on that match was not very strong.
I feel like this is something that
It's-
we can maybe have an episode on where we can all kind of learn from,
Right, for sure.
because those kind of things happen. They happen in youth games. They happen
we
in
all
adult games.
have those games. Those are the games where you're thinking to yourself, why do I do this?
Yeah.
Or am I good enough to be here to do this?
And maybe we can come up with some techniques or some tips and tricks on how to get yourself
What
Out
tools
of-
to use?
out of a funk when you're in a situation like, man, nobody right now is, and I feel like we kind of covered it in a previous episode before, but
Yeah.
the specific maybe to one of those, when one team is just clearly hacking the other, and I do have to say France, kudos to them
Again,
for
yes.
for not letting them get baited into more.
So they get baited, right? And something happens, and you get let's say Mbappe gets a red card.
Yeah.
Now he's out for the next match. They're moving on.
And he's French.
out.
He's French, so that he's not going to get rescinded 4 days later,
No.
even if they admit.
No, so yeah, again, kudos to them for
Yeah.
keeping the composure that they kept, and
Absolutely,
not
and it looks
losing
like
their minds.
they're certainly one of the top teams, if not the top team right now.
and who did they play prior to that? I
France?
can't remember. Yeah,
That's a good question.
I don't remember who it was, but if they play the rest of the tournament like they played that game, yeah, they're
Yeah, well, they certainly have the skill.
they're
Well, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thank
if you
you.
have any suggestions for future episodes, if there's a topic that you want us to cover, we're all open to things. If there's a referee you want us to reach out to for questions, it doesn't have to be somebody that has already been on. We can try. We have a contact at Pro that is willing to put us in contact with referees to get opinions, to talk about things. So happy to do that. Let us know. Our email address is checkcomplete@law5films.com, and it's going to be right there. You can also communicate on social media with us, ask questions, comment, those kind of things. And if you give us, the good old thumbs up on the YouTubes, and if you're an audio only gal, Apple,
Audible.
Spotify,
Or
Audible, whatever.
Audible too.
Audible. I know it's Apple and Spotify for sure. Give us a good rating. That'd be great. Again, it helps us reach more people, get the word out a little bit more about the podcast, which in turn, is good for us as well. So we appreciate your time. And anything else you want to bring up?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, all that.
That's all I got.
Okay, check complete.
Check complete.